Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Sports Twins. And today we're going to be reviewing last weekend's games and sports.
Hey everyone.
Yeah, hello from me too. Just to quickly inform you, we're a little late with this one. We had, as we say in this industry, technical difficulties. So we're just going to bang on away with it now and get them reviews and previews out to you because we've it all sorted at this point. Okay, so getting straight stuck into it, Steve. We've got football or soccer, as we like to call in this country, for a start. Everton beat Brighton last weekend 1-0.
At last we got our win. Huge win obviously for Everton. Badly wanted.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those ones where it obviously could went either way because they're kind of very similar to what we were playing. Same kind of style. They like their set plays, but they're probably a better drilled side than we are at the moment. But we got our win. We'll run with it.
3 points.
At home, just get them home fans again. We're just hoping the home fans just get us over the line again this year. And we've got 3 really tough games coming up. So we've got the 3 big teams. There's no soft games now in the next few games. So hopefully we can pick up points. Either it's Chelsea, Tottenham and United. So if we can just pick up a win in one of those 3.
Sean Dyche is always good against those teams.
Yeah, exactly. He is.
With Burnley, he'd beat Chelsea often away.
Arsenal, he had a good record as well.
Yeah, so you'd always fancy with Dyche in charge there. Everton have
It gives us a chance in a way. Rather than when we were with Frank, we looked very weak at the back.
Just looking down through the fixtures we had last weekend, marked down, it was all the relegation battle, and we had obviously Man United drew with Southampton and then at Bazuna.
That was some save, Bazuna. Yeah, man. What a save that was.
Newcastle beat Wolves 2-1. Bournemouth beat Liverpool 1-0, and that's
crazy
result.
Yeah.
We're
right after.
And
right
actually,
after United.
funny enough, even though this is a bit late with the review, it's kind of beneficial in one way because I don't think I actually said this year. Paddy Vieira was sacked, was it?
Yeah, I heard. I actually heard that today.
So, and we did discuss that previously.
Yeah.
That it'll be too late by the time they sack him. That they mightn't get their form
They're
back.
really
And
struggling
they
to
could be in
win
trouble
games.
if it go down. So, yeah, it's
They're finding it tough to win games. Crystal Palace for a while,
exactly.
and they're competitive against anyone. But you just have to win games. It's very hard to win, obviously, but it's fine to be drawing there and losing by that goal. But you've got to win.
You've got to win, yeah, especially in the Premier League, and that's why people be saying like, well, in any league, you need to be able to score goals to win games. Full stop. If you can't score, you can't win games. And you need to be tied back. A combination of both, like
you need to be fighting in every department, really, on the field.
Combination of both.
Yeah.
Just looking here then, because we were going to leave it off until like Thursday, and it's Friday today. So, reason we were leaving it off was because of the Champions League, because we were not sure about what to do with that, and so we said we'd leave it off till with those games watched. First one was City at that was when we
5
watched
goals.
against Leipzig. Yeah, 5 goals
By
for
Erling.
Haaland.
Within an hour.
Yeah, it was.
And he got taken off.
Within an hour, right?
Yeah, and he got taken off, and he was given out that he was taken off because he wanted to bag the 2 hat tricks.
I've never seen it.
Yeah,
2
it's
hat
crazy.
tricks I've never seen.
Crazy.
It's
And we actually said it
goals
when we were
I've
watching
seen.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen Andy Cole get 5.
Yeah.
We've seen Defoe get 5.
Yeah, Aguero maybe.
Maybe, yeah, and there was a few of them.
Yeah.
And there's no one got 6, like we're always waiting for that.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's a big, strong striker. He's hard to do this early.
He is
Really
for sure.
good. He impressed me all the last night.
Yeah.
Their keeper was poor though.
He was.
Their sub keeper.
Yeah.
He was the sub keeper for Leipzig, and their first keeper, Gulaschi, with Hungarian keeper. He's a proper keeper.
He's proper. Yeah.
So their
I know
sub.
that dude,
He kept
actually.
hamming it out.
Yeah.
Every time and
That's
straight
right.
out into the
That's
area.
right. He was unlucky too. Like,
He
but
was,
it wasn't.
but
That's not what you do.
No, you
need
have to
pan
try and
out
push it
wide.
away, or
Yeah. You need to put it over wide.
even
of
hit
that.
it off you.
Not throwing
and
it
it dropped
back
on.
out to the box where the strikers.
Right into that danger area.
Day after, night after was Real against Liverpool. I'm not going to say much about this game. We watched it and it was actually boring.
Very poor. Yeah.
Non-event.
Liverpool were trying to get that opening goal to make it a game, and it just didn't happen.
It was a non-event.
It didn't happen for them. They couldn't get that goal.
It really wasn't.
Salah looks a yard off it
Yeah.
all the time this year. So I think it's Liverpool are suffering with
So
that.
what about Everton now after that weekend? Are we looking better? We are, like,
Definitely.
15 for them.
100% better. Yeah, way better. But again, it's all these next few games. If we can just pinch a win and a draw and a defeat, whatever, in the next few games, I really full confidence that we'll stay up.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if we lose a 3, you know ourselves, you're back in
Of
it again.
course. And we'll be we'll be previewing the quarterfinals list in the next video for the Europa and the Champions League. Alright.
That's fine.
So next up, I'm going to talk a little rugby, obviously.
After our video last week, I thought that
Yeah.
Scotland would shave it, but
Yeah,
again,
I did actually mention on that video it was the defence that would.
yeah, I actually, you know,
and
our
yeah.
defence. I'm so comfortable watching an Irish game. You don't feel like we're under pressure.
Other defence is so good. Like Andy Farrell was the defensive coach for Josh Minnion. You got him as the main coach now, so it's. And you can see with the records in it, they've only been conceding.
But they
a
did
try,
look,
like.
they did look a bit. You know, when Scotland got that opening try, it was 7-3. It did look like a game. You were like, you know,
definitely.
thinking.
Yeah, for sure.
They're after opening up, so our defence didn't look so good there. Do you know what I mean? But
I would say
we did sharpen up after that.
It remained a game, like.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as tight as Scotland wanted, especially with the.
I thought it'd be tighter.
Especially with everything that happened, like we've heard in loads of videos now about the whole Keane Healy going into hooker. You've got Josh Van de Fleur throwing him in.
Henderson injury.
It's actually a great sign of the team though,
Yeah.
to be able to adapt.
The two hookers were injured, sure. Wasn't
That's
they?
that's everything in sport is adapting to the game really, and to see him doing that, it's
Yeah, they
going
kind
up a bar and my level again. Like they're the number one team, alright.
Yeah, oh, they
I
are.
feel like
After
they are.
watching it, I
Yeah.
felt it even myself that they're able to kind of deal with any situation
Yeah.
that's thrown at them.
It's not just because they had France at home and the fixtures mean that they're the number one team at home, just like France were last year when they had them away. Do you know, France beating them away.
Maybe there's something.
It's more, well, I feel like there is something to that,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I feel like even watching that game with Scotland, that was a dodgy game, like going into it,
Yeah.
and to see what they did in the second half,
And to be fair,
it was
we
outstanding.
didn't see a whole pile of Finn Russell in the whole campaign.
No.
Finn Russell, I was raving about
Yeah,
how great a number 10 he is,
that's right.
but there was only one really number 10 that controlled that game last night.
Yeah,
Johnny Sexton,
For sure.
good game. Like, he was a really good game.
very
again.
solid, as
So-
always. Look, we're not going to hop on too much because we'll be previewing again.
I thought
Italy,
Gibson
Wales-
Park
Oh,
coming on.
let's say
Beautiful.
about that actually. Yeah.
Beautiful to see him
Some
back.
players were kind of. We'll give you three. 2 to 3 that you would say.
Impressed
You'd
me.
say Gibson Park is one there.
Definite. Impressed me. We Gibson Park, 3 of them.
Mm,
Hugh Keenan always impressed me.
always.
Always. I think he's an
Always.
unbelievable.
He's so good.
Unbelievable. I thought that Tyke
so
Furlong
good.
was a small rusty, but it's against big double standards. He's a really
Definitely.
good player. Do you know,
That is
he's
definitely
awesome player.
standards.
Like.
Definitely.
But I just thought for Tyke, I'm always
You have to say
expecting-
Josh Van de Fleur for throwing him in and stuff.
Oh, but don't do
doing
it.
everything
Outstanding.
he was doing all day.
Yeah,
Like,
of course,
unbelievable.
definitely.
James Lowe, 2 wingers. Mac Hansen.
Excellent.
Hello, Mac Hansen.
Actually,
Mac
the back
Hansen.
three. The back
The
three.
back three,
You're
yeah.
asking me for 3 and you pick them back 3. They're unbelievable.
Mac Hansen, like that second, that pass for
He kept slipping.
whose try was that? That was,
That was,
Jack Collins.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was
Jack Cohen's on the line, that's right.
so good. The way he delayed that
Did
ball.
he do 2 of them?
Alright guys, we just had more technical difficulties. We're getting to know the whole thing ourselves. So we're just moving on to Italy and Wales, Steve. And we were saying Italy were the first time they were favoured over a team in the Six Nations, and now you were getting a first defeat, I suppose, with that.
Wales showed up. They
Wales
did.
got lucky.
Yeah. They showed up at the start.
They-
you know.
well-
They caught on the cold, I think, at the start of the
They did,
game.
yeah.
and Capuzzo missing was
Massive.
sickening.
Massive. It was so big actually
Yeah.
for me, and the other, I suppose, as big as it really was Reece Webb being back with
Mhm,
Wales.
mhm.
There was 2 big changes there. On
He made
both
a big
teams.
difference.
Big difference, boy. Big
Oh,
difference.
he got that break for his try as well.
Ah, yeah.
Unbelievable.
And he did the little.
He's a proper player.
He's a really
Reece
good
Webb.
player.
He's really good.
But Capuzzo
It's such a pity.
would be the. It's
You're missing
busy.
that flair.
Yeah,
Do you know, you're missing all that
line
flair.
breaker and everything. That guy that gets
Was he top line break in the Six Nations or
second
second?
in the
So
whole
that's
tournament.
a huge guy to be missing.
Massive.
But they
There's
battled away. They
They
battled.
did, and
you know.
look, I was looking actually there. They have something like is their score difference is something like -48.
Is that all?
Yeah, exactly. Is that all? Like that's after 4 or so games. So
That's brilliant. Yeah.
that's excellent.
Yeah.
It's a big improvement.
An
from
average
what
of
we
10 points a game, like
Yeah.
not even.
did. That's competitive.
That's
That's
good.
that's where we need you
That's
to be
good.
like.
Yeah.
England and France. Finally in the rugby.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't like to be the England coach right now. I think he's under pressure.
He is
Straight away.
definitely.
Straight away. Like, I get it that you mightn't see that much progress from a new manager coming in. They might take time to get his ideas across. But they
That
look
was-
so flat.
That was drastically
Oh.
bad. That was so
They
bad.
just look flat and
Yeah.
days on their feet. And
So bad.
they're missing big players, I guess. They were missing, you know, Tom Curry, one there, and
It seems like he's trying to do a big turnover though. And
I saw what doing all that.
he had Smith in and Farrell messing around with that.
He's bringing back two leggy for the Irish game, isn't he?
Well, he's back from suspension, so
Oh, okay.
he's kind of, well, I wouldn't say he's forcing his hand, but he made the choice to put him in. Yeah, himself, Slade, and Farrell, which is more what I'd be going for right now. I think.
Yeah, that's more when you see that they're going well.
Yeah.
Even in the last World Cup.
Farrell's 31 as well. Like
He's not that old.
exactly,
He's not
but
gone.
he's not. Exactly, he's not gone, and Jermaine is a lot younger, like, and not as taste.
Well, the thing about
proven.
Smith, he really tries things.
Mm-hmm.
You can't try things at
No,
test level.
that's what I'm saying.
You can't.
No,
Like,
no.
you have to really, because he did a spiral kick there at the start of the game. He didn't go back to it again.
No.
So that was just something he chanced.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Well, he was probably told to give that a go, but he
Yeah.
didn't execute it well. And
But I know, Owen Farrell goes out and he's like 3 or 4 options every time he's hit. That's all I have to do
I
is
feel
1,
like
2, 3 or 4. Do you know?
it's robotic with him.
It is.
And that's what you need to
You
test
do,
level.
you do,
Like,
man.
You
You
need consistency anyway.
Yeah.
Right, we'll move on. Very quick look now. I'm not going to spend too long on this. Just to mention it, the GA, the hurling.
Mm-hmm.
Kerry ended up losing away against Kildare.
That's right.
Last
So
week.
it's looking like a Kildare Offaly final in Division 2 to get up to Division 1.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And I suppose, just to mention the scores there, it was 220 to 21 points to Kildare, and it was Offaly beat Carlow 118 to 112.
Was that all? Yeah.
That's all.
was close.
And in Division 1, which kind of nice little, what's the
Segue.
segue? Thank you. Nice little segue for that, for you, what you were saying there about the final possibly being Offaly and Kildare.
That's right. The playoff team.
Antrim beat Laois 318 to 118. in
Is that what
Division
it
1.
ended? Oh my God! Right.
So
There's only 2 goals in it. At the end.
exactly,
It was close
and
game, really.
it
Up there.
was, yeah, it was a very close game.
So it's going to be Laois against
I'd say so.
Offaly maybe or Kildare.
Yeah,
It's looking like.
maybe. Let's see.
Yeah.
Could be
Laois
Westmeath
Offaly
as
maybe?
well.
Oh yeah, Westmeath. The other
So-
side. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, they have to play off each other before they play off them.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. And I think Laois won better these days.
Yeah, that's
Could
going
be
to be a
wrong.
tight game.
Yeah, it's
Laois
gonna be very
Westmeath.
tight.
It's going to be awful tight. Again, I hope they're playing neutral venue. Because this home stuff,
Yeah.
it's too much of an advantage, like, for someone.
You
And
can't
people might think, like, what advantage is at home, like, but you've got support.
Oh come on.
You
no
don't
one can say
travel
that.
is
No one can
less.
say the stats are there for
Yeah,
support, for
yeah.
home supports. For home fixtures are always a much better chance of winning. And
It's
yeah,
actually not
us
really about the travel. It's
us
more-
being Kerry guys, we can't say
Go up
too
to
much.
Dublin.
But going up to Dublin, lads, and Dublin playing in their own backyard. I'm sorry, like there's advantages there, like and that's factual. There's no. I'm not trying to.
For every All Ireland Kerry one, it should be counted 1.5.
Yeah, he's definitely taking the piss there, lads. Right, a little bit of MMA we saw, Steve. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking football this weekend. That's coming. So there's nothing last weekend on football, obviously.
Well, we did have the passing of Liam Kearns.
We did.
Yeah, so just
To mention that, God bless the man.
yeah,
He
rest
was,
in peace, Liam.
Rest
But
in peace.
he
like,
was
yeah.
a big tarn for Kerry for a bit.
Mhm.
With Limerick, with a good
Mhm.
Limerick side back in the early 2000s. So
I met him at a social one time. He was came across very well.
yeah,
Like
everyone
really
said
well.
it. Everyone was mad about him. So just give him a mention.
Had glad you did.
Yeah.
Very glad you did. Yeah.
That's all the
Sobering.
GA. That's all the football.
Yeah.
GA football action really in the week. Going much else.
MMA. We're talking combat sports. We're just going to talk about that one fight. We watched a few fights obviously last week. We Nico Krylov beating Span. Remember he choked him out.
Span came out kind of swinging.
Yeah,
Didn't
as
work
we
for him.
anticipated.
Yeah, I
Really.
was saying that. You know, I thought he was tougher than what he is.
Tough can only get you so far.
Yeah. But
yeah.
Jan was good though. The guy
That's what I'm
was
saying.
good.
He was
Excellent.
technically excellent. He's
Excellent.
technically excellent.
Excellent.
Jan against Dashvili was the fight.
Yeah.
Um,
Dashvili went all night.
He went all night.
all night.
and he didn't stop. I thought he might stop
You were saying that to me, like, gas, no, like
after
in the
3,
third,
4, after, because
Yeah.
I'd seen him in 3 rounds and I thought, but then again, the only night I ever saw him gassing was the night he got badly clipped as well. When I was thinking back after it.
Like, it drains you. A
It
clipping
does.
does drain you. Takes a lot of wind
Oh,
over
God,
yourselves.
Definitely. So yeah, well done to him. He looks good for a title.
He looks
I'd say.
excellent.
He looks good for a
excellent.
title. That's a 135. I remember thinking
Tough
that.
cookie.
Oh my God.
And he's got his little supporting. In
And
the crowd, there's like a little section of Georgian fans, which is always
That's
great
always
to see.
good.
Love seeing that.
He's I think that was the most takedowns attempts ever in a fight.
That's right.
Something like 50, nearly, wasn't it?
Just almost 50.
48.
I wonder.
48. They
I
said.
wonder did they recount
They
it
may have.
to get 50 of it.
They
Sure.
may have. Just a quick mention, so we'll move on from MMA. Dashvili I do fancy though for,
Title.
yeah, I do like. I fancy him to get really
A
close.
title fight, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, depends on who stays there. It's two it's too there's too many variables.
Yeah, I know.
Henry Cejudo could come in, he could go away again. You know, so you kind of have to wait and see. Golf over the weekend. You picked it. Scotty Scheffler got the
An easy pick. No.
Yeah.
You were going to say Scotty. If I just covered myself basically.
Okay.
I said Scotty.
Let me
and
just
he
go
went
through
on
it
and
so
won
really quick. So Scotty Scheffler wins at 17 under.
Yeah.
Shane Lowry tied for 35th at 4 under,
Not too
and
bad.
Rory
Shane, man.
missed the cut at 5
I know.
over.
I know.
Okay, so let's just scratch it off. On to the next one.
Yeah, at least we did get the winner for him.
Yeah.
But, Scotty is an easy one though. Like I know the odds aren't great there, but he's just
Exactly.
on form at the moment. It's a game that they're all like. If you're in a good headspace, you play well.
Yeah.
There's no more about it. You're not questioning yourself. He even said it on. I watched a small bit of that Netflix golf thing, whatever
Drive
it's
to
called.
survive, whatever thing
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, Drive to Survive is the fun one.
Yeah,
But
I
I
know,
watched
I
a small
know.
bit of golf, and you see a lot of players like Brooks Koepka. He can't get it back. Like he's so frustrated with himself because he said he was in such good form at the time. He was in great form.
You
In
see
good
it all the
mood.
time. You see it all the time. I remember Jason Day one year he couldn't use the tournament.
Yeah.
And then it happens all the time in golf.
That's why you got to give credit to Rory. He's up there a long time.
He is.
A
Yeah.
long time.
You'd have to give credit to Rory for that. Yeah. That's what separates Rory actually.
He's been in top 10 for how many years now? Is that going on 20 years or?
Close.
It's not far.
It's close.
It's not far off
Yeah.
it.
Well,
So 15 we'll say.
more important.
So it is good going. Like.
No, it's great going. Because you wonder, will you see Scotty Scheffler? Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Them
You see,
guys,
they all rise and they
yeah,
fall.
they
You know,
do,
it's like they hit the peak.
Yeah.
They're happy they got there,
yeah.
and it's like right, I can relax now. And then they start dropping.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, yeah. It's yeah, well done. It's a good way of thinking about it. All right, Rory, like he's the only other guy to get the EA Sports game too. So
himself and Tiger, like.
yeah. Right, moving on from golf. A quick mention. I'm not going to review it. The F1.
Oh yeah, win. Max Verstappen, top two boys, Sergio Perez.
No, there
But
is one little
yes.
news.
Yeah,
One little
exactly.
bit of news in
It was a big turn for the books.
Yeah.
We saw Austin Martin.
Yeah.
Up in the podium.
Yeah, Alonso getting up there again.
Class.
Fair play to him.
I was delighted.
My God.
And they look competitive.
And I wouldn't mind.
Aston
They
Martin
look
look very competitive this
They
year.
look like
The only
they're.
team that are going to
They look
challenge.
like they're showing Ferrari and the Mercedes like to cop on.
Yeah.
Like
Up your stuff.
exactly.
You know, yeah.
Like the boys, Red Bulls seem to be flying with their
Yeah.
last few years. But this all seems to happen so regularly. Do you get the like 3 or 4 years of dominance, and then teams catch up with?
Yeah, it's. I
Let's
suppose-
see.
Do they run out of money or I don't know.
Lastly, so we're going to mention your very own sport that I'm getting way more into now, especially with.
We saw that game
My
like last
God,
night.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking baseball, guys.
The World Cup of Baseball is
World
basically
Cup,
on.
Yeah, and being little, well, we do like to put on an odd flutter here and there, and I had one on Puerto Rico, and
We bought back to me, yeah, just
they were
because
25-1 for it, so you had to back them before
Again,
they got out of the group.
they have really, really good players all
Excellent.
around. All around.
Excellent.
They're great players. I couldn't understand the price,
Excellent.
to be honest. It was obviously because they were in a tough group. There
Yes.
were still two other teams.
Yeah.
They got their one defeat, but they won the other three, so they get through.
Yeah.
And you just got Dominican Republic getting knocked
Quality.
out. The most stacked team in the tournament, probably.
But we saw the game. I kind of just want to mention this. We saw the game like the game before their quarterfinal games.
Yes.
And we'll be previewing the quarterfinals obviously with this as well. But watched it, and your guy from the Mets, Edwin Diaz.
Yeah. The greatest closer in the game.
So he tells me.
Well, they bring out like he's so
the
good
trumpet.
that they actually put on trumpets for him when he
Yeah.
gets out. Like it's like an entrance song when he comes out to pitch the last inning.
He's been showing me
So
that
it's
for
pretty cool.
at least the last year. It's
class.
it is class.
It's what to look
it's
at
one
if
of the
you wanna check
coolest
it
things
out.
in sport,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Exactly, it's pretty cool.
But yeah, he literally threw him like they were up 5-2, so he closed it out. And we've already talked about this, like, but I just have to mention it to any viewers if you haven't seen it. It's the maddest thing, like. He closed it out. I walk away from it. We both.
Just after
walked away
signing
from
your
it.
contract, by the way, with the Mets, they have to pay massive money to keep him on there.
Do you know how much that was worth roughly?
Oh, what was it? It's big money. Anyway.
400 million? No.
No, it wasn't quite
Was
that.
it 100?
Sleep on it, so no.
Yeah, anyway, doesn't matter.
Actually, I think it was
Was it 100? No.
100 million for 5 years.
Yeah, he was saying
120
something
million
like
or something
that.
for 5 years. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good money,
It was over 20 million a year. That was it. Over $500,000 a week. Remember we were saying
That's
that.
right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But so basically he closed it out. Then they went celebrating, as they do in baseball so often.
Yeah,
And
he's
in
good too,
sport,
yeah.
I'm not picking on
Yeah.
baseball, but they had to.
The atmosphere
celebrate.
actually
That was a
unbelievable.
huge game. They
Yeah, they
had
had
to
to.
celebrate, but might be a little word of warning in the future when you're celebrating too. You've seen it with
To chill out.
in that Johnny Walker in the UFC as well, when he did that thing and he screwed himself up. And
that's right.
celebrations, man. Yeah, his shoulder actually.
That's right. Oh,
celebrations are something that you want to be very careful of, like. And long story short, we'd gone away from the TV and all we hear is, "Oh no! Oh my word!" And we're like, "What the hell's up here?" Like, and Edwin Diaz was on the ground clutching his knee after just bouncing up with the boys celebrating. So he's out for 8 months.
Crazy, yeah.
Mental
8
stuff.
months. He's out for the season basically for the Mets
Crazy.
after signing up his contract. Now, of course, people were against the World Baseball Classic because of this very reason, because of injuries, and they're all fighting for it to remain because they actually love playing it because you got the one time they get to play for their country, and everyone wants to play for their country. There's nothing else that fills you more, like, I suppose, they're free to play, there's no kind of clutch, they're not being shackled.
It's pride
as well.
It's pride.
They can just play the way
There's
they
no
want.
doubt about it. You have to, everyone, it's innate in everyone. You have to fight for your country. Yeah. And on that note, it's a good way of ending it because we do like the whole international soccer.
Yeah, I love it.
We won't ever say that club football is better than international. That's our opinion. So we're gonna get some hate for that, but I love international football.
Same here.
And on that note, before we go, quick note: Evan Ferguson played again.
Did good, did
well.
fine. Yeah.
And is playing away. Oh, the one thing I wanted to mention as well, but let's leave it for the preview.
Right.
Yeah, perfect. Cheers, guys.
Talk
Take
to you
care.
then.